Production for Panther Sports Talk is brought to you in part by Johnson's Automotive Service is a proud supporter of Panther Sports on WEIU. Johnson's is a complete car facility for all your automotive repair and maintenance needs. Johnson's Automotive Service, keeping your life running.
Welcome to another edition of Panther Sports Talk right here on WIU. I'm your host, Rich Moser. We'll start off this week with EIU Baseball coach Jimmy Schmitz. And Coach, I guess first of all, you got to be upset that the weather has now turned once again. Mother Nature has not been kind. You guys had great weather out there this weekend for the series against Tennessee Tech. And you got some games coming up this week, one at home that right now you're going to hope that it's nice enough to be able to get out there on the field.
Yeah, we have to get out there. It's going to be cold back in the low 40s, but tarp is on, so we should be fine. Thought we had a chance to win 2 out of 3 against Tech. Just dug ourselves such a big hole on Sunday, which again, they're picked to win the league, and it was really hard to kind of chip away and get to that. So, Indiana State, I think they're 27-10, one of the leaders in the Missouri Valley. So a midweek game that is going to be a hard one to get things going. And then we go to SEMO. I mean, they're first in the league right now, on fire, 15-3. So we're playing 2 very good teams, at a point right now, middle of the year, second half of the season. So, it's time for us to really play more consistent baseball.
And I don't think people realize how long baseball season is. You talk about you guys are 15 games in, and I know it's almost getting ready. It's middle of April right now. You still guys have a month, 5 weeks left in the baseball season, so probably not panic time. Like some people would think maybe panic time, you lose 2 out of 3, the season's over. You guys are kind of still within striking distance to be able to get a spot in the OVC tournament. And some of the teams you're going to play the next couple weeks are teams that you win 2 out of 3 from them. Now you've leapfrogged them in the standings.
Yeah, and that's really what we told them when the game was over on Sunday, that we are only halfway through. We have 5 weekends to go. People that we play are people who, if we beat them 2 or sweep them, we're making a huge change in the standings. So for me, we can't be in any better shape in terms of who we're playing, where we are, and now it's just a matter of us trying to get it done the next 5 weeks.
Now we'll go back and talk about the series against Tennessee Tech. You guys, like you said, were on the downside of the series, lost 2 out of 3, but played well on Friday and on Saturday. Had a chance to win, I guess, on Friday. Just kind of got a great pitching effort by Matt Borens. Just kind of couldn't get the bats to help back him up there on Friday night. Yeah,
it was really good to see Matt. I mean, Matt's, I think, really one of the better pitchers in the league, and he went out and he performed that way. We had a miscue defensively that created a big inning for them, but it probably should have been a 1-0 game in the 7th, and there's the pressure changes. So it's good to see that out of Matt. Jake Johannesmeyer pitched exceptional on Saturday. We had an inconsistent performance from Joe on Sunday, but knowing we have Matt and Jake, I think the team really feels that confidence. Bats are now swinging a little better, so like I said, we're going to SEMO. They're the hottest team in the league right now, so emotionally, this is a weekend to see if we're ready to go at it.
Now, you talked about it earlier in the year. We had talked about the pitching. At the start of the year, you thought was going to be one of the strong points, and it got off that the bats were kind of carrying the team early in the season. Now the bats against Tennessee Tech kind of maybe exactly weren't where you wanted them to be, but the pitching is now starting to get into the shape midseason form that you were hoping for. So hopefully that'll carry the team when you put both of those together in some of these upcoming series. Yeah,
I mean, that was the plus. I mean, obviously it didn't all come together against Tech, but I think our players feel so much better about Matt and Jake. Troy Barton has just done outstanding the last 2 weekends for us. So, that's all. Confidence just comes from watching players perform well. And now they have it in the pitching staff. The wind was just gusting in at 20 miles an hour this weekend. So bats were a little bit more silent on both ends. But, spring comes, the weather heats up, and I think the bats will be fine. And now the pitching's coming around. So it's a good combination that we have to have right now.
Now, while we talk about the bats may not have been where they wanted to be this past weekend, one guy in particular has been really good all year. Caleb Powell, he's up there in the top 10 in the country in batting average, and he's a guy who's been consistent week in, week out, day in, day out when you guys have put him in the lineup. And you kind of juggled him around, I guess, during the course of the year to see if he can spark some other guys on the team to kind of generate some offense.
Yeah, we always try to be creative, and maybe put people in positions that they're not suited for. I had him in the 3 slot. I did that in 09 with Nommensen, and that backfired, so I learned a lesson. Hopefully I won't do that again. But Caleb is just so consistent. He's a guy, it's so nice to see him come up in every 3rd inning. You know he's going to come up. So we love the lineup right now. Mitch Gaspar behind him is doing a great job of getting him over, and then you got Dimitri and Volek knocking him in. So the lineup is good. The pitching was much better this weekend, and I think we're going to see if we can put it together.
Now, you talk about Brant Volek. I know he came back last week and kind of helped, I guess, jar the offense or drive the offense a little bit there at Murray State, was a OVC Player of the Week. Another power bat back in the lineup. You guys missed him earlier in the year on defense and on offense. Is he kind of where you want him to be now, or is he still a guy that has a chance to really come on these last couple weeks that people haven't really seen in the lineup?
I think he's really, he bats 4th. He knows how to drive the ball, and he knows how just to hit it the other way and get as a run. He's really an RBI guy. His wrist seems to be getting better. He seems like even on the 3rd day, he has some strength in there. It was really tiring on a weekend. So we'll actually give him tomorrow off against Indiana State because it's important for him to be healthy for the weekend. We play Thursday this week with the Easter weekend. So, having him and Dimitri right in the middle of the lineup gives us a 1-2 punch. So it's great that Brant's worked through his rehab, playing in a little bit of discomfort and pain, but he knows we need him right now.
Now, you talked a little bit about that, the fact that the OVC doesn't play on Easter Sunday. Does that change how you guys approach the lineup this week? I know the guys get enough time off in terms of between times for starting for pitchers, but will that change, I guess, how you do them for the midweek? Will they throw a little bit less pitches in a bullpen, or does it change your strategy now moving up a series a day?
Not really much. We got to find ourselves really a fourth starter. Andrew Grahn, he pitched last Wednesday. He'll start again. We got to find as we're looking to try to get into the tournament. Well, then you got to prepare yourself to win the tournament. And you can't win it with 3 pitchers in terms of starting. So, Jaden Wittershine had a little bit of a shoulder issue. He seems to be really healthy. Luke Busher was a little bit injured. He seems to be healthy. So those will be the 3 guys that we'll go with to try to extend them a little bit to get them to the point where if we need them to come in the 6th inning, they can just finish a game out, and that's how we're looking at it.
All right, Coach, best of luck down there this weekend at SEMO, and then happy Easter to you and the family on Sunday. I know you'll be happy to be home on a Sunday for once during the season. You don't ever get that very often. Be right back with This Week in EIU Athletics, and then we'll follow that up with a feature on track senior Jalisa Paramore.
Panther fans, here's what's going on in Panther athletics. Baseball, now 11-24 overall and 5-10 in conference play, as they went 2-2 last week, beating Illinois College 8-2 last Wednesday and winning 1 out of 3 at home against OVC rival Tennessee Tech. Prior to the airing of this show, they host the Indiana State Sycamores at Coaches Stadium on Tuesday. For the result of that game, check out EIUPanthers.com. Softball, now 30-11 overall and 10-4 in the OVC, as they went a perfect 4-0 this week with a 7-6 win at Southern Illinois Carbondale and a 3-game weekend sweep of UT Martin at Williams Field. Last Thursday, men's and women's tennis both lost to SIU Edwardsville at the Atkins Tennis Center in Urbana, and on Saturday, the men and women each blanked Tennessee State 7-0 before the men lost and the women won at Belmont. EIU Track and Field split squads on Saturday as they competed in the Illinois Twilight Meet and the Western Kentucky Hilltopper Relays, earning 10 total first-place finishes and 6 runner-up honors. For complete results, head to EIUPanthers.com. Saturday through Monday, EIU women's golf competed in the Indiana State Invitational in Terre Haute, while Sunday through Tuesday the men were in Old Hickory, Tennessee for the TSU Big Blue Intercollegiate. For complete results of both of those tournaments for the Panthers, go to EIUPanthers.com. Now, here's what to watch for this week. On Thursday, men's and women's tennis will begin play at the OVC tournament in Paducah, Kentucky, with the men taking on Austin Peay at 10 in the morning and the women facing Morehead State at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That tournament will continue through Saturday. Also on Thursday, baseball begins a 3-game series with OVC foe SEMO. First pitch Thursday and Friday in Cape Girardeau will be at 5 o'clock, with a 1 p.m. start time on Saturday, and Tuesday, baseball travels to Champaign to face the Illinois Fighting Illini. First pitch from the U of I is set for 6. Friday and Saturday, softball continues conference play as they travel to Nashville to play doubleheaders Friday at noon and 2 against Belmont, and Saturday at 1 and 3 against Tennessee State. And on Tuesday, EIU softball hosts a doubleheader at 3 and 5 against Butler in Williams Field. On Saturday, men's and women's track and field are in Edwardsville for the SIU Edwardsville Gateway Invite. Action from Edwardsville starts at 1:30, and on Tuesday they host the Tuesday Tweener Meet at O'Brien Stadium. The official start time will be posted on EIUPanthers.com. On Sunday through next Wednesday, women's golf play at the OVC Championships in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. For full Panther results from that championship, check out EIUPanthers.com. For Panther Sports Talk, I'm Brad Kupiak.
WEIU is your home for Eastern Illinois Panther sports. Panther football.
Here comes the blitz. Jimmy's going to throw it deep down the middle. Laura's out there. Got it. And he's on his way. Garoppolo burns the blitz. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois.
Panther basketball.
All the way. Laid it up. No. Another dunk. Petrowski again. Back-to-back rebound dunks.
Panther greats. WEIU is your home for Panther sports.
Senior Jalisa Paramore for women's track competes in indoor and outdoor track. She competed in the OVC Championships in 4 events, earning second team All-OVC in the 60-meter hurdles. Now, with 4 years of experience, she is grateful that she chose Eastern Illinois.
I didn't have Eastern in my top 3, top 5, any kind of list for when you're picking out schools to attend. My coach had some reels, kind of like you do for football or basketball, and she just happened to send it to Coach Akers. And the funny joke that we always make is he was done recruiting. They weren't recruiting anyone else, but he saw my video and he was like, you know what, we won't lose anything if you don't come, so why don't you just come, visit the facilities, and let me know how you feel. So I came up, I fell in love with the athletes, the coaches, and everything that they had to offer. So I was like, you know, why stay in Florida your whole life? Go ahead and do something different. So that's how I ended up here at Eastern.
Sure doesn't seem like she's been here 4 years. Wish she was going to be here a little bit longer, but she's done really well. She's really come quite a ways since she came here out of high school and has done a great job for us.
I could tell you my whole track experience, but it's so rewarding and motivating in a sense. From my freshman year to now my senior year, it feels like just yesterday I got here on my visit and Coach Akers was showing me around. It goes by so quick, but it's probably one of the most prideful parts of being here at Eastern is being a student athlete. And I know that student comes first, but athlete is probably in big, bold letters. This program is so rich in culture, and having a coach like Coach Akers, he's so dynamic, he's so versatile, and he's just an outstanding role model that he's the biggest part of this program. And then having my teammates, we're always together all the time. You spend majority of your weekends traveling, so they become your family, and it's just a part of who I am. You know, Jalisa, the hurdler, the one who's on the track team, it's just who I am.
Although hurdles is one of Jalisa's best talents, she competes in a variety of events. Her versatility allows her to compete in long jump, high jump, sprints, and relays as well.
Of course, I'm a short sprinter, a hurdler, and a long jumper. Hurdles will always be my passion. I've done them since high school. It's just what I do. But I've grown a new passion for long jump. It's different. I've high jumped before, but long jump, I feel it's just so much more exciting for me. And I love things that excite me. I love working at something, and at long jump, you really have to work at the techniques. It's like hurdling. It's a lot of technical things that go into the event. And as far as difficult aspects of it, I'd have to say I'm blessed. I learned really quickly. So long jump came kind of quick to me in nature, kind of like hurdles did. But over time, throughout the 4 years, there's always something new that I'm learning about the events each time. So I have to say hurdles are my favorite, but long jump is not that far behind.
Very consistent, very intense competitor. She works very hard at her trade, whatever she's training for. You know, currently long jump and hurdles are going really well for her. She used to high jump, but since her hurdles and long jump have sort of taken off, we've sort of let the high jump go, but also runs well for us on our sprint relays and in some open sprint events.
Over the years, Paramore has realized that talent alone does not make you a champion. She has gained other competitive aspects that have made her the leader she is today.
Having the leaders that I had there earlier, my freshman year, they've kind of handed off the baton, to use a pun, a track pun. They've handed the baton really well, and over time I've learned how to be more competitive. I wasn't very competitive in high school. I was talented, but I wasn't competitive. And being here, they kind of pulled that out of me. You know, you gotta be headstrong, you gotta want it, and that's something that I've grown to appreciate and use in my track career. Just being more of a team player is really big for me. A lot of the times when I run, it's not so much for myself, and over time I've learned that my victories and my woes, I look for my team and how they respond to those. When I step on the line, when I get ready to jump, I do it for my team, and that's something that I've learned to do just because I want to be more of a leader for this team and for this program.
She's very focused on her technique, very focused on what she needs to do to be successful. And you know, I think has set some high goals for herself, and I think a lot of our young ladies need to look and see how successful she's been, how far she's come, and if they can model what their careers are like after her, they'll have a very successful career.
Jumping out to a good lead is Jalisa Paramore from Eastern Illinois. He's a senior in white.
Paramore has accomplished many of her goals while at EIU, but even as a senior, she isn't done yet.
Of course, with anyone, nationals is the first thing they think of. Being a senior, I haven't gone. I've gone to regionals, which is a step before nationals, but I want to go to nationals. I want to be able to have that title, All-American, attached to my name. But my goals for this year, of course, I've been undefeated thus far outdoor for the past 2 years, so I'd like to keep it that way, leaving my senior year. Me and Coach Ellis, we joke about the long jump record. I'm not that far behind, so if I can get that and take that home, I'd have another title under my belt, and that would be great to come back and see my name up there on the board again. I want them to remember me not so much for my performances, but the ultimate essence that I left with the team. Of course, I know they're going to give the ultimate response, you know, she was a great athlete, but I want them to say, you know, she was always willing to do what was best for the team. It's learning to juggle multiple events. I did it because I knew that the team needed me to do it, and that's ultimately what I want them to say when I leave. She was always willing to do whatever it took for us to come out #1 and on top.
Reporting for Panther Sports Talk, I'm Chris Boswell.
EIU softball is in the midst of their first season under a new head coach and a roster featuring several veteran seniors, including Mattoon native Renee Hutchinson. Hutchinson says that these seniors, who won the OVC championship as freshmen, have had to adjust to a new coaching staff this season, but through the pre-conference schedule, they're buying in to the new style of play.
In the fall, it was rough because I could tell that some of the seniors, they were a little skeptical being a senior and having a new coach this first year. And so I was really worried about going into practice and them wanting to change, but I think since I've been in January, I think everyone has, like Coach said, everyone's bought into their system. They believe in what, everyone believes in what both coaches are telling us, and we've made some big changes that I think are gonna definitely help us come postseason and throughout the regular season also.
Since I've gotten here, I feel like you can see it, and the thing is, like I said, with them buying into what we're doing and them seeing the results, and we've already stolen more bases than they did all of last year. We're hitting the ball harder than they've ever hit the ball. We're doing things that they haven't seen before, and for them, I think that gives them that assurance that, hey, you know what? We are better than we've ever been. And so I think they're ready to go. It's been an amazing journey, and they're doing everything that I've asked, and we have gotten better, and we've grown, and we've learned from our experiences, and that's exactly what I've preached since I got here. And They are completely 100% into our philosophy, and they see the results. And when I look in these kids' eyes, there's no denying that they don't want it more than anything. It's a great feeling.
In addition to playing softball, Hutchinson has also spent the last 4 seasons as a starting outside hitter for EIU volleyball. And she says she's thankful for the opportunity to have been a 2-sport college athlete.
It's definitely, first of all, taking a toll on my body. I can definitely tell on these cold mornings, waking up and getting out of bed, I hear a little pop, little creak here and there. But I don't think I can say enough how many friends I've made, how much the coaches that I've played for, and the players that I've played with, how much an impact they've made on my life. And I think there's a few other life lessons, but I think that's the biggest thing, just the friendships that I made and the things that I've learned playing 2 sports has taught me a lot.
I came in the fall and I heard about Renee, and I heard about this kid that plays 2 sports, and watched her obviously play volleyball and was amazed at just how athletic she was on the volleyball court. And they told me, she's a good leader and things like that. Kept asking about her softball skills, and yeah, she's all right. And so I'm thinking, okay. And they're like, don't get your hopes up. She's not going to be everything you're thinking or you're wanting. And I will tell you what, I think she is everything that I have wanted. And she has really, in my eyes, been amazing to work with. From the day she stepped, in January into our practice, she has been so coachable. Probably the most coachable kid that I've ever come across. She can make an adjustment like that. She knows her body very well. And so I think she has not even tapped into her full potential, and that's what's been amazing. And I think she's shocking a lot of people because they didn't even know Renee was this good.
So far, it's definitely a lot more than what I expected. I think the biggest change that I noticed from the last 3 years is I'm able to show off how athletic I am a lot more. I mean, when Coach Schutte was here, I had a pinch runner when I would get on base, and so 7 stolen bases for me in the first, 25, 27 games. I don't know that I had 7 stolen bases at all last year. So, no, I think I'm definitely more confident in myself, and I think the team can speak for when they say that they are confident in themselves as well as the other players around them, just because of the changes that we've made.
She could go anywhere, to be honest with you, from 3 to 6. She does a lot of things well. She hits for power. She sees the ball well. She can do a bunt and run. She can do a squeeze. She can, lay down the sacrifice bunt. She can do a hit and run. And that's what you need from 3 to 5. You need that. You need the person who's going to do whatever you ask them to do, and she can do that. And then on top of that, the speed that, nobody told me she had has been amazing because I love speed. So I just love having her. I mean, it's been amazing for her to be in that spot and to be able to do anything I ask her to do.
With Hutchinson's success in both volleyball and softball throughout her collegiate career, she says when she's done at EIU, she wants to be remembered as much for her contributions off the field as for those she's made on it.
I just hope that people remember me personally as a good leader, as a good role model. I mean, it will be nice if they can remember as to how well that I played and stuff like that, but I'm not here to I'm not here just to play softball or just to play volleyball. I'm here to get an education and learn and grow as a person, so I hope that's how they can remember me.
She totally leads by example. I mean, everything she does, you cannot, as a player, you cannot question anything because she's doing what she's asking you to do. So you can't say, well, you don't do it. Everything is by example. She is a great kid in and out of the classroom. She works her tail off. And she just does everything. She's a perfect role model in every single way. And everything about it's positive. Nothing's negative. And when you look at her, it just puts a smile on your face, and you want to do everything she's asking you to do.
I cannot explain how fast it has gone. I got here as a freshman, and talking to the seniors on the volleyball team, they're all, oh, it goes by so fast. It's like just like that, like it went by like lightning. And I, as freshman, I'm like, it's 4 years, not a big deal. 4 years is 4 years. But When volleyball season ended, I was like, that was 4 years. And so I think at the end of the softball season, I'm going to be even more shocked because that's another 4 years of softball that's gone by. And honestly, I can't believe how fast it went. It was 4 years, but it doesn't seem like 4 years.
Reporting for Panther Sports Talk, I'm Brad Kupiak.
Production for Panther Sports Talk is brought to you in part by Johnson's Automotive Service is a proud supporter of Panther Sports on WEIU. Johnson's is a complete car facility for all your automotive repair and maintenance needs. Johnson's Automotive Service, keeping your life running.